You hear me?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah. I'll just. Did you hear everything that I said, everybody? Okay, okay, yeah. Because I just said a lot. Well, I'm here with the Sheik, Divine Minister Molden Bey. He's based out of Texas, and you definitely want to check this out. You want to share this. I know I always say this, but everybody's got questions. Everybody, all types of people from all walks of life are starting to question these labels that have been placed on us and starting to think outside the box. So even people you wouldn't even think of, your uncles, your neighbor, even people that's in the church all over the place are starting to have questions. People are finding out all types of information from the internet, but everything's unstructured. You don't know what's good, what's legit, what's not. So we have a Sheik here with us right now. So even if you've been on this for years, you've got some questions or you've got some concerns, whatever you want to bring. We're going to start doing this on a regular. We're going to call it Moorish Mondays. This is episode 1 with Sheik Molden Bey. And first and foremost, we want to give honors, praise to the Most High Allah. As always, we give honors to the forerunner, to the Prophet Marcus Mosiah Garvey. We want to give honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We give honors to the first Supreme Grand Sheik of the Moorish Science Temple of America, E. Millie Ill. We want to give honors to the current Supreme Grand Sheik, Brother Man D. Bailey Ill, and honors to all current and active members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and also all Asiatics, all Moors, all over the place, whether you consider yourself a Moor or not, Nation of Islam, Nation of Gods and Earths, whatever, it's all love. You're more from my perspective, but, I'm not trying to force anything on you. I'm just saying that you're my brother, you're my sister, we love you, and that's why we're doing this. And so as I said, I'm going to go ahead and be quiet and let the brother speak. Sheik Molden Bey. Once again, people have questions. I'm sure you do. You have questions and concerns. Feel free to type them in the chat. In the future, we'll have the lineup so that people can call in. We may be able to get that up and running right now, but more than likely we'll be doing that in the future so people can call in as well. Okay, so please, brother, go ahead and speak.
Peace and love. I mean, I definitely give honors and praise Allah, honors to the Prophet, honors to you, honors to Moors in America, honors to the ones that are online. As far as me, gratitude for even allowing the platform. I don't have a specific, I guess, demonstration to start by speaking, but we can go in regards to if there a specific question that someone wants to ask, or we can go from there. This is, however, I will say this as disclaimer. This is us as brothers, as Moorish Americans who are, who went from social media to a personal phone call. So I don't want it to be like, I'm somebody that you haven't pressed hands with or you don't actually know, despite the fact of the length of time or whatever. And I say that because a lot of times in social media, you think you are friends with your friends in social media, and that's not necessarily true. And then in the aspect in regards to where we are in these days and times, what we're dealing with is well over 100 years. And when you give honors to someone as our first appointed Supreme Grand Sheik, E. Millie Ill, may Allah be pleased with him, grant him entrance into paradise, we have to keep in mind that we don't have that access to those elders anymore who can give us or provide us with an actual mouth from word or word from mouth demonstration that the Prophet left for us. So we're left to fend ourselves with these teachings when we're blessed to have a teacher, quote unquote, or we're blessed to educate ourselves enough to be astute enough to teach others. And oftentimes because there's no real said school of thought where you can actually enroll. And then a lot of times too, there's no actual brick and mortar building where you can actually walk into the temple. There are Moorish Americans, there are Moors, and then there are those who sympathize and empathize with both those two. And I'll give you an example like this. A sympathizer is one that may understand the history and the lessons of a Moor. And then you have a Moor who may have the history in their mindset and in their heart and are moving, acting, and thinking, and quote unquote, mooring, as the word actually means too, which relates to navigation on a vessel or a boat. But then you come to a Moorish American. And a Moorish American is one that has proclaimed their nationality and has taken their steps accordingly, such as a Scottish American, an Irish American, or an English American, or AKA British American, right? Our prophet brought us our nationality and our divine creed, and he brought it to us in a manner that can only be specifically and profoundly demonstrated with one's connection to the Moorish Science Temple of America. Despite the how do we say, despite that we say is good or bad, there are those who have their own ideas, thoughts, and conceptions in regards to the Moorish Science Temple of America. But where we are today is we are focusing on the aspect of attempting to clear up a lot of the misconceptions and clarify a lot of things that are often misunderstood. Because again, not every Moorish American has access to get to a physical temple, let alone have access to get to someone who calls themselves or is properly anointed, appointed, and consecrated. So that too is another issue. There are a lot of self-appointeds out there, and I'm not here to say who is and who is not, because we're all going to try to point fingers. That's a waste of time. That's not productive for Asiatics in North America. What is productive for Asiatics in North America is that you're able to proclaim your nationality based off the understanding and the who, when, where, how, and why. So, I mean, with that being said, um, we can take, if a question is online, or however you want to go. But when we spoke in regards to, and I'll keep it on the level of, in social media, everybody wants to go live and do things on Mondays and be at prime time. So why not have a Moorish Monday? Let's open the way. Our construct
Islam.
is this. When you hear Molden Bey is gonna come at you with any and everything so calledly that the prophet brought to us, and I'll clarify when I say that it's not. But specifically, Molden Bey is going to deal with two constructs. That is adopting the corporate philosophy and making one's conditions better. If a Moorish American doesn't have a corporate philosophy in these days and times, they're gonna set you up for failure, in my opinion. And then if if a Moorish American doesn't or cannot help you attain to being able to make your condition better, then something's wrong with the program, and they definitely haven't gotten the lessons. So I salute the sympathizers, empathizers, the Moors, the Moorish Americans. I give honors and praise to those who are dealing with the prophet's lessons the best way that they can and the best way that they have been shown and brought to them. However, nonetheless, some of us are properly charged and have a duty. As I said, once you are anointed, appointed, and consecrated, you kind of can't get away from it. So
Wow.
this is why you see the old man out here, and I'm hoping that I can to help to clarify anything. But man don't know by being told. Man must be what he know. So, I can provide the information where I have come across to be able to back up anything that I pretty much stand on. I'm not going to say anything that I don't know for certain. And again, if I don't agree with it, I don't have a problem with letting ones know.
Islam, praise Allah for that. Praise Allah for you for coming on the show and for sharing wisdom with us. We do have some questions right away. Like first off, first question we have is, how are we U.S. citizens?
We're not U.S. citizens. Well, Moorish Americans are not U.S. citizens. U.S. citizens are chattel property, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th Amendment citizens. Those are U.S. citizens. A true American citizen, and when I say a true American citizen, you can choose how to navigate. If you want to play, first off, you have to understand that the amendments that came after the properly ratified amendment of 1320, those amendments, 14, 15, and 16, primarily and strictly deal with capitalism, commerce, and slavery. Involuntary servitude. Okay, so that right there is your business aspect. So from the U.S. citizen construct, when you're navigating in a business aspect, then you have to deal with those amendments, because those amendments deal with business. Those amendments do not deal with citizenship and granting you rights, because we have to understand that the 13th Amendment, with 2 sections that's on the books right now, was never properly ratified. However, that amendment is what is used to incarcerate, incapacitate, and interfere and interrupt a lot of lives of minorities, Asiatics to be exact. The 14th Amendment, what does the 14th Amendment do? The 14th Amendment takes away, if I'm not mistaken, the right to vote. So when you don't have a right to vote, you lose citizenship. And in that aspect, what good are you, right? So we have to bear in mind that Moorish Americans are not U.S. citizens. Moorish Americans are citizens of the land being U.S. A. The land has no deal, has no contract. What man does is he contracts and he constructs deals on the land under USC codes or United States statutes or the township, counties, and municipalities of the states thereof. Those are based off, again, your 14th, 15th, and 16th Amendments. That's why they're able to write a ticket, send you to court, send you a bill for a contract that you sign. Those are contract demonstrations. That's why I say a U.S. citizen is chattel property. A Moorish American is not chattel property when you have properly proclaimed and taken the steps to remove those marks which are placed upon you that delude to slavery and chattel property. So the first question is my question. My answer would be a Moorish American is not a U.S. citizen. You're a U.S. citizen when you're born, unless you're not born in this country, North America. You know, if you're born in Canada, then you're a Canadian citizen. If you're born in Mexico, you're a citizen of Mexico. But you're born in North America, that baby's first breath is a U.S. citizen. Without the parents' signatures or anything, that is a child of the U.S.
All right, Islam. Okay, we have another question too. Saying that there's a citizen who has a case in federal court based on abuse of color of law, and he decides to proclaim will his civil case not be valid?
The civil case?
Yeah. If you have a case in federal court, and he's saying if it's based on abuse of color of law, if he decides to proclaim, will his civil case be, invalid? Dismissed.
It's kind of tricky to be exact, because we don't know the actual details of the case. But I mean, if it's a federal case, they're already taking a look at it. But again, and I'm only giving you my minimal demonstration. I am not an attorney, a lawyer, nor friend of the court. But from what I hear of the question, I mean, I think you taking the right steps, but let me bring it back to this though, because we're supposed to be Moors and Moorish Americans. The prophet said to stay out of the courts, so it is written. However, there are times and situations where you almost kind of really can't afford it, because again, going back to what I just stated a minute ago, when you get caught up with contract law, look at contract law. Don't focus on color of law, order of law. That's those are throw-offs. Focus on contract law. And in contract law, remember there's an offer, there's an agreement, and then there's an acceptance. Main three parts for any contract. So not knowing what really that case is about, I don't really know how to give a fair answer to it, because it's from what you just read out, it's kind of a few parts in there that we may not want to get into on a situation like this.
Yeah. All right. That same person though asked, like, what if an Asiatic served in the military? Like, if you served in the military in the past, you receiving benefits, and you decided to claim, is it possible you could lose your benefits?
Absolutely not. Nah, I know 2 grand sheiks, three right off their head, 2 in the state with me that are both veterans, and they well. Now they're well. They don't miss any benefits. One of them just found out, and I'm gonna put his business out there a little bit. I'm not saying his name; he's not online, but he just found out recently that he's like eligible, almost like 100% full benefits and disability as a veteran. And we're in there. We're in there when we go to the veterans demonstration. That's an easy fix. That's the for those who know, that's the Department of the Defense file number, record book number 13, National Archives Group 147, if I'm not mistaken. I just throw that out there. If I don't have that right in front of me. If I did, I would try to show it. But and yeah, for those who might have even caught it, I'll say it right now. Yeah, that's a Dingle L demonstration, but that's a part of the Moorish history that you need to be aware of. I'll try to find that, but yeah, the veterans thing, that's easy. That's easy, because you had Moors like Richardson Dingle Ill and Timothy Dingle Ill, who, when they were in the movement and in the organization, they too were veterans, and so they went back to where they did business. I believe is again National Archives Record Group 147. Pull that up. Pull up National Archives Record Group 147, and I think that'll tie back in to where you're speaking of for veterans in the movement. That's a lot of questions, which is why I say again, making one's conditions better. When you just because, let me tell you something. Let me say it like this. Hey, I'm being Molden Bey. You the one with the fez on, so I'm gonna be Molden Bey. A lot of people are afraid to let the Negro, black, colored, Ethiopian tag go. I'll say it clean like that. A lot of people are afraid of that because that's all we kind of quote unquote really know. So then when you come in the aspect and you say, well, you're not Negro, black, and colored, and I'm gonna show you how to proclaim your nationality, and I'm gonna show you how to correct your status and this, that, and the third. You know, a lot of people get hyped with that, but then people get taken. Like literally, people get taken, and like for coins, like Bitcoin, not BIT, like big coins, like people telling them that they could do this and do this for them for a fee, when in all actuality, the prophet said, if I could just get you to think, you'll free yourself. So again, going back to contract law and knowing how to contract. When you are in true self, you realize you're not a minor. Man, go into contract law. Like the brother with the court case situation. Take your court case information, take your Black's Law Dictionary, and look up every word that's in that court case information in the Black's Law Dictionary. Yeah, it seems like I'm really saying something crazy, but I'm saying it because when you understand contract law, the terms are different. The terms that are used in a contract are different, like the terms you and I are using in this conversation. Okay. And so that's why they, notice what I just said. That's why they'll ask you, do you agree to these terms? Right. And
Islam.
then when you say yes, what is that? You accept it. So they made an offer. They made an offer, right? And then you agreed on that offer. And then when they say, do you agree to these terms? And you say yes, and you sign it, contract in full effect. You just made money. Okay. So that's how this thing works from every aspect. So to the brother that's got the issue with the court case, look up in Black's Law Dictionary, look up every word, and I'll save you some time. Look up every word you know for sure you don't know what it means, but look it up in the Black's Law Dictionary. Don't look it up in Webster's or Oxford. Look it up in Black's Law. All right. And then you can try to get to understand what you have going on. If you getting people to look at you in a federal court case, man, they obviously honoring what you bringing. So I would try to advise you to get into chambers with that magistrate. I would try to advise you to get into counsel somewhere in the hallway with the attorneys, but do not enter that courtroom if you can, by all means. All right. That's just me.
Wow. Islam. All right. Okay. There's somebody in the chat that's saying something that we hear all the time, right? They're saying that the temples. What about the temples? The temples were infiltrated. They're saying that the things that the prophet brought forth have been changed up. For example, he said the Moorish Cuban temple cards don't say I'm a citizen of the USA, but you always hear people say that. Everybody's saying the temples were infiltrated. Some people saying what he's saying, that the documents and things were changed up. What would you say to that?
Well, a lot of that is truth and falsehood strangely mixed. Yeah, but think about it. Let's say it like this, and it's just using common. I wish I have it. I don't have it with me, man. I'm prepared to not be prepared so that I can be prepared better for the next time, if that makes sense. All right. So what I have, what I thought I needed, I don't even end up really needing right now. But I have a photograph of that nationality and identification card. It's a reprint of the photo of the card supposedly that the prophet left in Cuba. And no, it does not say you are a citizen of the U period, S period, A period. Why would it? The prophet was in Cuba.
Islam.
You know what I'm saying?
What would a person from Cuba be if they're Moor?
Would they be
Moorish American, or would they be Moorish Cuban?
Yeah, that's how that works. They're Moorish Cuban, right?
It's like my wife, she's from here, but her people from the Caribbean,
Right.
It's like, her mom's from Haiti. Right?
Yeah. In history, those were the Mau Maus, and those Mau Maus were Moors. Like just what just happened, what was it? 2 days ago? Over in where was it that they just killed the Fulani? Those are Moors.
Islam.
Those are Moors that they just killed in 2019. Those Fulanis are Moors today. So, your land is your land. I mean, you remember that song, "This land is your land, this land is my land," right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's the same concept, but you got to claim yours. Cuba has a flag. What Cuban, even when they flee Cuba and make it to America without papers as an unregistered alien and become a registered unregistered alien, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. That's what the last president put into effect for unregistered aliens, was a document to register an unregistered alien. But that alien comes from, they're only an alien because they're quote unquote displaced from their homeland. So they're in a quote unquote foreign land, like the Negroes, blacks, and coloreds and Ethiopians. We're in a foreign land. You're blessed. But we're in a foreign land. So our prophet had to come for us, bringing us back our what? Our nationality and our divine creed, telling us what? That what your forefathers were, you are today, right? Because why? Your descent nature, Your descent nature of being a Cuban don't change just because you come to America. Now, when that Moorish Cuban comes over here to America, even if it's Moorish Cuban and Mobitus Moorish Cuban, when they come to America and they have a child, that child is going to be a Moorish American, though, by way of how the U.S. statutes are established. Okay, going again in regards to the business and the corporate construct, which is why I say again, when you see Molden Bey out here in social media and in these elements, adopting the corporate philosophy and making one's conditions better. Those are the true elements of the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Those, in my mind, when you come with the corporate philosophy and you have to adopt it, just like the prophet did, right? The prophet adopted us, and us being who? Moorish Americans. What did the prophet adopt? Its corporate name, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people. Another reason why I'm hopping out here and I'll put myself out here.
Okay, so what would you say if somebody else, after that dude, somebody else is saying, yeah, the temples are infiltrated? What advice would you have for people that are saying that? You know, because I'm not even attacking, because some people legitimately, you know, have concerns. Maybe their experience has been negative, you know, trying to reach out to people in the temple. Some people just, you know, feel like the people, you know, they dealing with aren't progressive. And then others, they didn't find out in the temple. You know, they got it from the internet. They got it in the streets. So, you know, they're hearing all this stuff and they concerned. What would you say? Like, what type of advice would you give? Because this is probably where most of the people's coming from.
Well, let me say it like this. Anybody who thinks that any so-called Asiatic grassroots organization wasn't infiltrated, you're a knucklehead. You're a straight knucklehead if you think that the Nation of Islam, the Black Panther Party, the Black Liberation Army, choose one and don't think that they weren't infiltrated. Man, I don't. First of all, Molden Bey don't give advice. Advice sucks. I might suggest something to you. I might suggest you to read a book. I might suggest you to go watch a movie, but I'm not about to advise you to that. You know why? Because people try to hold you to that advice you gave. Man, you know, I used that advice. It didn't work. Man, you stupid. Well, yeah. Am I stupid for giving you the advice, or are you stupid for taking my advice? One of us is stupid, or probably both of us. And a lot of times we end up both being stupid, because I end up advising you some stupid stuff that somebody advised to me that didn't work for me, but I turn around and advise it to you. That's just retarded. Right? So in regards to the infiltration thing and all of that, next.
So along those same lines, right? Somebody else was just saying, how do I proclaim, you know, who I am? Let me get the exact words. Hang on. Okay, I lost the question, but they basically, you know, they want to know, how do I proclaim? They know they're more. What do they do next? What's the next steps?
You want to find the nearest. You want to find the nearest Grand Sheik or leader of a study group that can register you with the Moorish Science Temple of America. And let me start right here, right now. A lot of people think.
Where you at? Where you at? Let the people know.
I'm actually in Texas. I'm in the state of Texas. I'm over the whole state. I put myself out there because I know there's others out here, but I'm over the whole state according to the grand body that I sit with. And I'm actually on the outskirts of Dallas. I'm in the metroplex of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If there's anybody online, I think somebody reached out to me earlier. So I'm in the DFW metroplex. Yeah, I'm in the place where the European punched the Asiatic in the parking lot. Yeah, I'm in the place where July 7th, I think it was 2000, not even too long ago, where the brother was accused or alleged that he shot the police. Yeah, I'm in Dallas. Right? So I say that because if you've not ever been to the Deep South, then you don't really know what it's like for Asiatics in the Deep South. And it don't get no deeper than the Gulf of Texas, but it gets rougher along the Delta. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
But, like I said, I would recommend that you get to the person that can get you registered with the Moorish Science Temple of America. There are some bodies that are doing some decent, good things and honorable things. So I'm not going to take that away from. I can't tell you who you should turn to other than the Prophet Noble Jew Ali and get in tune with your ancestors. We got to get more in tune with our spiritual side of this demonstration. You know, we have to get in tune with those that are on the other side that see and know things that we do not. They'll assist us. Okay. And I say that because in this day and time, anybody that's still looking for a religion, don't call Molden Bey. I don't have time for your religion. Religion is followed by a dogma, and a dogma comes with a construct that leads you down a path that only benefits the leader in charge. Hopefully I didn't lose anybody, but that's what religion does for the so-called black man. You can pick whatever you want. You want to be a Christian, you're going to follow a dogma, and 9 times out of 10, you're only going to benefit the leader of that church. Same with and I'll say it with the Jews. You try a black man trying to go sit with the Yiddish. That's why the Hebrew Israelites have the strength that they do. But it's funny to me because I always ask them, and I say, well, you know, why y'all don't go over there and have Sabbat with them? Mm-hmm. I can go to the Nation of Islam. I can go to any masjid in this world and make salat. I can go anywhere in the world and defend, uphold, or enlighten about my Prophet Noble Jew Ali based off of Islam, and I'm well accepted. Molden Bey been doing this over 20 years. I'm telling you no lie. I'm not trying to clout chase, and I'm not capping. They know me. You know what I'm saying? So I say that because I'm strong with Islam and I believe in Islam. And if you can't take your religion to the other place or to the homeland or to the birth or where that religion came from and stand on it, I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not me personally. Now other Moors might entertain it, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But when you talk about uniting, I have brothers here in Dallas that sit with the Hebrew Israelites, and we're planning to start. They just took Passover, and we're planning to start breaking bread together in the community. You can't have a community. You can't have a community without unity. Yeah. And then you can't have a community without a common goal. And everybody has to be in one common goal, right? So, I mean, that's just how we move out here. You know what I mean? But get with somebody that could register you properly. And people say, well, why do I need to register? Can't I just proclaim? Yeah, you could proclaim to have State Farm insurance, but if you know you're not paying a State Farm premium, don't expect the State Farm benefits.
Islam, exactly.
You know, that doesn't make sense. So, and notice I didn't say application. You don't apply for a nationality. Nationality is free. In the Moorish Science Temple of America, dues are $17 a month. They were halfway equitable or accountable along the lines of what the Prophet was doing in the Prophet's times. But if you ask me, $17 a month is not even enough to build a nation. And I shouldn't have to hustle and fight for $17 a month, and you got a nationality now. But you do. You know, people question why you need Social Security number on my registration form. The same reason when you go to rent your furniture, you need a Social Security card number on it. The same reason when you go and put your job application down, you got to put all your information down so you won't do it for the Prophet.
Well, you know, when you say that, like, man, people will give their social to somebody that's just online. It's not even a part of the temple or anything where they're held accountable. You know, somebody that's just like selling their own ID cards or whatever, and they get them all types of personal information, social, all that, you know? So I don't even know about that argument, man, because
but they won't do it for us. They won't do it for us.
A face. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what they doing with your stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know that.
But here go the thing though. We give it away freely for the other man. But you wanna fight with me, and I'm telling you, bro, I'm just trying to get you to proclaim your nationality. Why you gotta know where I live at? Brother, when you go downtown to correct your driver's license with your fares on it and put your L or your Bay on your title, don't you want the same address? Or you plan on living somewhere else? Well, yeah, I don't know why you need it though, because I don't know what you're gonna be doing with it, because I just got my credit cleared and I don't want nobody, brother. and again, a lot of times that's because we've been burnt by people and we don't have a lot of trust in people. Like right now, everybody's seen it. I think all last week it was popping all over the internet with the sister that was doing a little radio broadcast about how in everybody's family they have $1 million, and if you come together and sit in a house, long enough, and everybody can, by the time they leave the house, everybody has enough money and able to take care of themselves financially. Well, Asiatics in North America don't move like that because our mama told us to get out at 17 if we were lucky.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that right there is kind of a negative drawback for us in our community. I remember it was okay when a female could stay at home with the parents, but a male child, he had to get out. He had to get out and get something. Yeah. We live in a society, man, with somebody who will tell you, go to school, get a job, put your money in the bank, and then get you some insurance, and then get you a house, and then get married, but they forget to tell you to get in debt and die. Yeah. That's what that system does. I build a lot with the brother Derek Grace too. I hop on his lives and I chat with him every now and again, and he shared that demonstration. He said, we're told go to school, get educated, to get a job, and then I put our money in the bank, right? But you do this industry concept that only holds you back. It doesn't allow you to go forward. So when the Prophet Noble Jew Ali came in a time where, man, everybody was coming fresh off the boat. Everybody was being treated like a slave. A lot of people don't even realize that the Asiatic had more respect in the 1920s than the European did. I'll say it. In 1920, the European was the 1970 Hispanic. The 1970 Hispanic that did all the work that did nobody want to do. And now look at the Hispanic communities over the last 40 plus years. The Hispanics put in the work back in 70. They took all the shame. We used to call the Hispanic essay and wetbag and vato. The Hispanic said, nah, not no more. Nah, you're not going to disrespect us like that no more. We've done all your work. We've built all your bridges, built all your houses. Now, guess what? We flipped the money on y'all. So while y'all was laughing at us because we stayed in one house, 2-bedroom, and it was 26 of us, and well, now look at us. All 26 of us got one house apiece on the same street, and you still paying rent. Yeah. Right? So the prophet came with a demonstration where he was coming with business. He was coming with the corporate philosophy. The prophet had the Moorish Manufacturing Company where he was creating teas, compounds, oils, soaps. He was following off the footsteps of the harbinger Marcus Mosiah Garvey, who also had a manufacturing company for toys, for clothes. I mean, we're not doing anything new. We're just doing it without one another. Tell me why Sean Diddy Combs, Sean Carter, give me one more. Give me one more. Give me one
more. I mean, what T.I. doing it with the Grand Hustle?
Okay, stop. Why the three of them haven't come together and put all their chips together and say this is what we're gonna do together, despite whatever backlash we get? Not either one of them has done that. They don't even have their own clothing line combined.
Yeah.
Did they not see that
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They went from Levi. Levi, he said, "Man, we in a recession right now. I'm losing money, but I have this product." He went across the street to Strauss. What'd they do? They became Levi and Strauss. They stayed in business during the recession. And you know what they did? They made clothes for the iron workers, for the construction steel workers. The same thing happened with Anheuser. He was going broke. What'd he do? He looked at across the street to his partner Bush. They became what? Anheuser-Busch. Now look at them. #1 beer sellers in the game. And beer came from Prohibition.
Yeah.
Right? I'm saying all of this because, man, everybody is waking up now. Everybody is waking up now, and they're saying, man, I don't know if being a Moorish American mean I won't get shot dead in the street, but I'm willing to try it.
Yeah.
Right? So we have to have a profound demonstration on nationality, and it's gotta be uniformed across the board, man. Just because you come here to Texas and when we go to McDonald's, there is nothing supposed to be different in that McDonald's in Texas that's different in your home state. Nothing. But Moors could Google Moorish Science Temple of America and 48 different things pop up.
Yeah. So that right there, that's the demo. That's one reason why Moors out there, you need to get in line. You need to go on and get with the temple, because there's a lot of people, you know, saying all types of things online, doing all types of things online. Like you said, you look up Moorish American, you're going to see, you know, who knows what, right? Right? Might be, you know, all types of information, all types of different people claiming to be the temple or claiming to be whatever. They're not even claiming to be the temple, you know? Pretty much a whole, we get emails all the time from people saying, well, what consulate do I join? Where do I find the Moorish consulate? You know, it's like, you know, well, okay, would you be open to speaking on that, you know, the whole Moorish consulate demo or not?
Well, I'm gonna say this first and foremost, and I gratitude to you for opening up your platform for the elder man to come out. It's time to be able to dispel some of this. No, I'm not gonna speak on that constant demonstration, man. I don't know nothing about that. I know about Moorish Science Temple of America, Noble Drew Ali, Home Office, Chicago, Illinois, first appointed Supreme Grand Sheik E. Miliel. Everything else is bogus. Right? Let me tell you why I say that. Because he's the only one that brought us what we have, man. So for us, it's like me taking this and going somewhere else and trying to put my own spin on it. That's plagiarism. That's fraudulent. That's hypocrisy. That's falsehood. And why? When the prophet literally brought us everything it takes to save a nation, and we can't take it and save ourselves. Nah, I'm not going to speak on no. I don't know know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? What you talking about?
Somebody asked about driver's license. Like, should Moorish Americans have driver's license? Are Moors supposed to have driver's license?
What? Hold on. I can't put my info out there, man. I don't know who's all up, but hopefully I can get it to where you can see it too, huh?
Yeah. Make sure you cover. Look, make sure you cover up that stuff, because somebody was online. They put their passport, they put their driver's license, got their address, their driver's license number, date of birth, name, all that on there. So
can you see that?
Yeah. Islam.
So hopefully that answers the question in regards to about a driver's license. You have to be law abiding.
So when you saying we shouldn't be out here arguing right to travel with with the officers?
Man, I ain't gonna say you, but let me say it. Anybody that's on the side of the road arguing with one of them peace officers, one of the runaway slave catchers, you're an idiot. You are flat out an idiot, man, to be trying to argue. Did you see, bro, what are you talking about? Yeah. I have my feds on my card. I'm not allowed to walk anywhere in the state to take a picture, state regulated, without my feds on my head. You know what I'm saying? So, like, come on, fam. Like, nah, you could try that if you, what? Hold on, man. Who's listen, man, listen. Molden Bey is in Texas. So all you people that's in North Carolina, Indiana, I'll even say Ohio, maybe. Nobody drives in New York. Nobody drives. Maybe Georgia. And you trying to demonstrate on the side of the road, right to travel, and you're not driving, you're navigating, and you trying to spit law to them peace officers. Good luck. For real. Good luck. The young Molden Bey, I did all of that. You know what they did? Molden Bey got kidnapped and detained, and told me, state of Texas said you need a driver's license to drive in the state of Texas. And I knew that was a lie. How can that be true if you're passing through from the state of Oklahoma? What am I supposed to do? Stop and all of a sudden get a state driver's license? No, come on, man. But I had demonstrated that whole right to travel and man, I'm not driving and navigating and all of that. And it started out as one. By the time I got out that car, it was 3 of them.
Wow.
Right. So I'm not, man. We're not. I don't advocate that. I'm just like the law enforcement. Be safe out there and come home tonight.
Islam.
I'm not encouraging. I don't encourage Moorish Americans to be debating on the side of the road. Say, bro, let me go back in history for you. One of the reasons that not only did the Prophet move from October to September on his words, the main reason, from what I've been told throughout history, was because the Prophet did not want the sisters walking through the city of Chicago late night. He did that from examining. I've been to Chicago in both September and October. I see my brother. I thought I did. I saw my brother, Neil Bey. We was in Chicago together in October. So I know it gets dark in Chicago in October. So if the Prophet said, no, I don't want the sisters walking from the temple or from the convention in October, we're going to move it to September. That was literally what was said. That's how much the Prophet had respect for the sisters, that he said, I ain't bringing the sisters out here in October no more because it's dark. And it's cold in Chicago in October too.
Islam. Right. So for those who don't know, he's talking about the annual convention in Mecca in Chicago. All right.
Every year, September 15th through the 20th. And it's been for the last 90, what are we coming up on? 94? 95? I don't know. Yeah. It's one of those, 94, 95. It's every year. And it's September. Yes, I know that people hold convention in October and they're going to try to hold fast to the Prophet held convention, the first annual convention in October. When you do that and you still continue on with October, then that means you're not holding fast to the first appointed Supreme Grand Sheik, who let it be known that the Prophet made sure that you knew that the convention was in September. He sent a letter out, Emily L, sent a letter out to Brother Aaron Payne L as proof. And I'm only saying that because I can see the letter in my head. So again, I didn't I ain't bring out like artifacts or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But just you know, based off of where we are right now. You know what I mean?
All right, Islam. Okay, I only have time for two more questions. One person was asking, they just want to get your take on this whole, thing going on with the adverse possession of land.
Hey man, hey, contract law, bro. Contract law, man. Contract law. Hey, let me say this to the person that's I don't know if it's the same person. I'm gonna hope that it's three different people. But to the person that's asking about adverse possession, to the person that's asking about the federal, the court case demonstration, and to the person that asked about infiltrating in the temple. Y'all the ones that need to be in the temple because y'all the ones who ready to do the work. Mm-hmm. When I say that don't mean you stop studying and you stop doing what you were doing. Nah, you come into the temple so that you can hear from a quote unquote spiritual level the lessons. That same lesson applies on a corporate philosophical level. That's why you have to have the Moorish Science Temple of America, man. When people see that world-renowned picture of first annual convention and you see the prophet standing in front and those first two rows, those people are dressed in Moorish garb. Well, look over the shoulders of the prophet and see how those people were dressed. Those brothers were dressed in suits. Why? Islam. Because we were concerned with business. If you hearing a grand sheik and he sound like your grandmother's preacher, I apologize for you. I do. I do. If and that's if you blessed to have that. But if you have an elder and they sound just like a preacher and all he want to do is preach and the prophet said, and he got a whole Islam corner, you know what I'm saying? Just like the sisters do at the church, and every time he say something good, they Islam, just like the preacher say something and they amen. Find a new temple. Yeah. Because that's not the time. We don't need that right now. We don't exactly. Need that. Man, brother, hold on. Let me answer this real quick. Okay. Brother Williams L. Get in contact with D. Bailey L. All right. I saw that question pop up. Brother Williams L. Get in contact with Bailey L. Because I like how you put that question out there. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. You in the chat. So then, somebody wanted to know. I guess this is the last question we could take, but somebody wanted to know what's the Moorish Science Temple of America's take on reparations. What about it? Do we feel that what? We should have reparations? Basically. Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it helps, I'm a big hip hop head, and I'm not gonna name drop because I don't want nobody thinking I'm trying to. Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of Talib Kweli, and he and I, we have history, known each other for over 10 years, and right now, my man is on a major campaign with the ADOS demonstration, right? And I have to give him his props, and I have to stand with him as his brother, because he's putting himself out there in regards to where, man, so-called black people been trying to get reparations ever since they thought they were conscious. I remember hearing about just Moors in general, when a brother telling me he can get me, I think he told me he can give me like $16 million off my Social Security card or something like that. And that was back in like like 95. You know what I'm saying? That's when I like had like just like one, maybe two children or something at the time. And I was like, what? You know, but I mean, it's common sense, man. Like, come on, man. Who can give me 16? How can you give me $16 million off my social security number and I can't do it? That's always been Molden Bey. And then if you can't explain it to me, then I don't believe.
Yeah.
You know. But I mean, I think reparations is good for us as a people. You know. But I don't see it hurting or really even helping the Moorish Science Temple of America, to be honest with you.
All right. I guess we could ask one more question. Somebody said in the chat, if that's cool with you. It said, okay, we got two citizen jurisdictions, statutory citizen or constitutional citizen. Which do Moors align to?
Both. Because the Constitution is the statute. Remember I said at the top, contract law. The Constitution is the contract. That's how you're going to be able to enforce. The Prophet came and put us back into the constitutional fold. Your statutes and your citizenship relates to the state and the government with which you live. I'm in the state of Texas. The government of Texas functions different than the government of Oklahoma, which is a neighboring state.
Yeah.
Right? Every republic state has its own constitution that's found off the same accordance with the #1 constitution that our Prophet put us back in fold with. And so when we get in fold with that constitution, that state recognizes that you're in constitutional fold. I have to abide by what you're saying. You know what I mean? So yeah, we both with a capital C.
All right. Hey, is there anything else that you wanted to say? We're about to close out.
Oh man, Allah is the greater. Gratitude to you for. I mean, I'm hoping that this is something that we can actually do for the benefit. You know, that will. You know, I'm 20 years an educator, so I'm just kind of freestyling based off of just being the first demonstration. I hope that you get positive feedback, my brother. Again, gratitude to you for even allowing me to hop out here and just a lot of people might say I might be putting myself out there, or whatever, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I trust in Allah. You know what I'm saying? I don't fear, anything other than that. You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, gratitude to you for having me on. I hope that we can continue. I hope that this is something that we'll do, man. I look forward to what it is. All
right, definitely. Well, look, we're gonna do this at least twice a month, Moorish Mondays. Look, we have Central America, Panama tuned in. Okay, we have Moors all over the country tuned in. They're sending out love to Islam from Central America.
Peace and love.
Yeah, that's what we getting from the chat. People appreciate.
Hey, those are Moorish Americans. Central America and Panama are Moorish Americans.
Islam. Definitely, man. We appreciate it. Thank you for coming on. And we get questions all the time. I know you hear stuff, so this is definitely needed for everybody tuning in. Make sure you share. Don't just watch this, share it, because some of the questions that we're hitting were just basic questions that people are having all the time, man. And so it's great to hear from a divine minister. And peace and thanks to you for coming on. All right.
Man, Allah is the greater, man. I'm your brother, man. You know what I'm saying? So, man, again, man, much love to you for even allowing it to even come to fruition, brother. So I respect your work, man. I do. I give you props out there, and I want to salute you and commend you for continuing, man. Stay close to Allah. You know what I'm saying? Trust in Allah. You know what I'm saying? In an Islamic world, we say trust in Allah, but still tie up your camel. So keep Allah first. You know what I mean? And heed, man. Our Prophet. Heed our Prophet, man. Our Prophet is the one, man. He's the messenger for us, man. So we gotta heed those lessons. If you want to know what the Prophet's, I'll leave you with this. It just came to me. Anybody that really want to know what the Prophet's measure looks like, Look at the Nation of Islam. That's the best mirrored reflection of how the Moorish Science Temple of America should look in public in North America. And inshallah, man, Molden Bey is gonna make sure that we see that. I'm gonna see that before I even think about transitioning up off this earth, man. We're gonna see Moorish Science Temple of America's around here, man, like you see McDonald's, man. I'm talking about we gonna sell this nationality, and we gonna sell it the way the Prophet sold it. Upright, independent, and fearless.
Islam on that. On that note, we out. We're gonna run this back. We'll shoot for the second week of the second Monday, excuse me, of April, and we're gonna do this at least twice a month, inshallah. All right. Appreciate you for coming on. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure you share this. Don't just watch it. Click like and share. Okay. All right. Peace. And thanks everybody. Subscribe. All right.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.